Greetings, groovy people. Welcome to March's Q&A, Access Random Questions. Usually I have a bit of a theme, but I'm kind of a mess right now between moving and all the stuff going on in the world, so I didn't really have a lot of time to organize and have a central theme, so they're just going to be random questions this month. First, I want to start this video by thanking my patrons, my readers, watchers, commenters, all you guys out there. I really appreciate all the support that you have shown and given. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. And I hope that you are all hanging in there and keeping safe, smartly helping each other, intelligently helping one another in a safe manner, and at the very least, just not being an asshole to each other, because I was talking, not you guys, but I was talking to some people at one of our local grocery stores before the thing went really down, and the poor lady was just so down because people were being so mean to her because they were out of things. That's not necessary. That's not helping. If you know someone who is doing that, because you guys are too awesome for that, but if you know someone being a dick to the service staff, just tell them to knock it off and be like a decent human being. I just felt so bad for her. But I hope you guys are keeping safe, and thank you to the nurses, doctors, and people in the service industry, truckers, volunteers, all you guys helping to keep people supplied and helping to keep people safe. Thank you so much, and I just wanted to kind of get that out there. Yeah, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and take time to tackle some questions. First up is the question which spurred on the Dark Horse Origins video series. I've been kind of holding that off holding off on that since I've been kind of tackling that anyhow, but I'm going to briefly go over it. The question is, what is the main inspiration for Dark Horse? So let's keep this short as possible. So initially, it was wanting to do a comic because I always loved both writing and arting. I know arting's not a word. But I also had a lot of time since I had a long bus ride and usually got my homework done at school. The Beatles were an influence, namely George Harrison, and the wonderful, rich culture of India is a major influence. The beautiful textiles. I go more into that in last week's video, so go check that out. Stylistically and even, a bit regarding the lore, India influenced it, but I'm also influenced by mythologies and religion from around the world. That's what's inspiring the Fae folks. And of course, I'd be Word of Wednesday remiss if I neglected to mention manga and, even JRPGs as a major influence and contributor to Dark Horse. More on my manga influences and the video game influences in later videos. Next question, how many magic quote-unquote upgrades will the characters have? And this one's great because the person who asked it knows that I like JRPGs and probably had a clue that magic in some instances and in some ways is going to follow some of the older video games, the old school games that I love, like the Final Fantasy series. They used to have like Cure 1, Cure 2, Cure 3, and then later on it moved to being called like Cura, and Curaja. I don't know, I may be pronouncing that wrong. I mean, there's also Curaga with a G, so I don't know. I think they're different. But I don't have it all solidified yet, but for sure there are going to be 3 stages or levels for the main cast that they will have to learn. And I'm toying with the 4th level, and maybe some final attacks or something of that nature. But for ROWENA, as an example, of a level 1 through 3, it would be Liquid, would be level 1. And even within the levels, there are ways to upgrade your magic and learn more about that specific form of one's magic. The 2nd level would probably be like the gaseous stage, and that I haven't really figured if I wanted it to be something that she could just do on her own, or if the Sapphire Lotus magic would have to be combined with the Ruby Lotus. I am going to have different combinations between the characters working together. I haven't really had to cross that bridge yet. I really need to figure that out before we get there. And like the 3rd level would be like solid, so ice magic, essentially. So that's kind of a sneak peek on how the magic skills are going to grow and quote-unquote level up for the characters. Onward! Next question. Why is ROWENA so hateful towards Mia? She really seems to have a grudge specifically against her, as well as, of course, Odysseus. I can't really answer this question without giving out major spoilers, so suffice it to say, Mia's done something to really get under ROWENA's skin and get on her bad side. So there are reasons, but I can't really talk about that yet. Next question. Do you do your own patterns and backgrounds? Yes and no. For those of you who have seen a lot of my videos, in one of them I mentioned that I'm really trying to create most of my own patterns for copyright issues since I'm starting to sell stuff, and also just to be, to do my own shit, not just because I'm selling it, but to respect other artists also. But the exception would of course be when I use screen tones that I either bought or are royalty free. Particularly as I work on the revamp, I've been doing this. You won't see that so much in the old version that's up on Comic Theory. I use just whatever kind of scrapbook paper I scanned in, which I don't think I can, I really don't think I should have been doing that to begin with, but I didn't really know. So I'm making that amendment right now. As I work on the revamp, I'm really working hard on my own patterns and backgrounds too. Oh, by the way, once my partner and I get moved, I'll be updating my shop and working on getting Act 3 of the revamp printed, so you're going to see a lot of my own patterns in those. So that's just something to be aware of. The link for the shop is down in the description. I think I have time for one more question. Oh my god, my voice cracked. This is a patron question. I saved not the best for last, but I saved the patron question for last so I can kind of expand on that more. How did KARIN meet KANNA? So to learn a bit more about KARIN, please check out the video linked in the iCard up in the upper right hand corner. KARIN came to the USSO from Chicago, much like Odysseus. She came with the intent of joining the government, or the military, so she would have more resources at her disposal in order to find her brother. She knows her parents have passed on, but her brother's body was nowhere to be found. So she came home to a nasty surprise to find her parents deceased, but there was no sign of her brother, so she has reason to believe that he is still alive. When joining the military, KARIN capitalized on her education, which she was very close to getting her degree, but she also was a very hard worker, and word eventually got out to KANNA, who wanted to meet her and try to judge her character. As Act 4 of the revamp progresses, we're going to see that KANNA is secretly selecting specific people to act as allies to her, who she wants to have help her combat the other members of the government who are trying to manipulate her and use her power and fame for their own ambitions. But to answer the question, KARIN built a good, reliable reputation amongst all the other people in the government, specifically the workers that she was working closely with, and that sparked KANNA's interest. KANNA initiated the meeting, but KARIN's intentions and, hard work from the get-go was what helped her work her way up in the government and get notice. So it's pretty much on her own merit that she and KANNA got to meet. And that she was assigned to education. That was intentional on KANNA's part. That's all I got for this week, folks. The question of the week, what type of Q&As do you like best? This one's kind of to help me gauge what's most popular amongst people. I personally like the ones that incorporate the artist's characters answering the questions. I always find those to be a lot of fun. Next week is going to be a no-talk video. I'm not sure what yet will be the subject matter, but I was thinking of doing something a bit different. I have some footage recorded that I was going to use for a Friday night video, but those are on hiatus right now just during the move. So that's just a heads up. I think I'm going to do like a calligraphy video just to kind of tell you what I want to do. If you want to help my channel, my comics, please check out the support links in the description, and thank you to those who have already donated and or are patrons already. That is donation, I should just say, and our patrons and or are, whatever, it makes sense. If you like, you may also like, sub, and do the bell thing. I love getting new subscribers and commenters. You guys are really awesome, and I so appreciate your time. Thank you. Please take care. Be courteous and conscientious towards each other. Wash your goddamn hands. That should be a given. But I've seen people, even before all this, who just walk out the bathroom without washing their hands. What the fuck, people? Come on. I know that's not you guys. You're way better than that. Peace and love. Fare you well, and keep on trucking.